That water is cold. I don't even know the name of this creek, folks. I've walked in here, and I've walked and walked and walked and walked. And I'm just going to start fishing right now, because right here in front of us is a deep hole that I seen from the trail. And I just got a bite. Them ain't bass. First cast, I got a bite. Let's make another cast in that deep hole right here. That's what we're looking for, is the deep holes. We got another deep hole right here. This is mainly just flat rocks. Let's try one right there. There's fish. Got him. That's where he was. This ain't a bad one. This ain't a bad one at all, folks. Golly, you talking about fighting. I ain't seen him yet. All I know is that he's putting it on me right here. I don't know if we're going to get him or not. Look how he's doing right there. Oh, my. That looks like a mean mouth. To me, that looks just like a mean mouth. And a big one. Let me get down here with this fish right here. We'll take a look at him. Get out of there. Well, he ain't as big as I thought he was, but he's a good bass. I mean, he's a good one for a creek. Get out of there. You know better. You know better, because I'm going to let you go. Wow. There was no doubt about that. Quit. Ow. Wow, look at there. What a beautiful fish, folks. That is pretty. Yeah, that's a mean mouth. It's fixing to pour down, folks. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to hit the woods if it gets really, really rough. That's a beautiful mean mouth. This creek fishing stuff has been so... I love it. I love it. And just getting in different creeks and seeing what's in them. But that's a mean mouth. That's exactly what that is. Hard pulling fish. We're going to let him go. And we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do today, or what I'm going to try to do if I don't get rained out. Let's let him go right there. There he goes. He shot off like a rocket. Now, I caught that fish right here. Y'all can see that this is real shallow. All this is real shallow. Then it drops into a little deep hole right here, a pretty good sized deep hole. But that's a little choke point right there, and that fish was right there. I've already casted and casted and casted right in here, and that fish was located right there in that little choke point. Now, there's no doubt in my mind there's probably several fish in here. This is a big deep hole, so I'm gonna fish it pretty hard before we move on. It just looks too good, folks. You know, there's several different colors that I've been really messing around with when it comes to these Nico hellgrammites. And not only Nico hellgrammites, through the years I've noticed that light colors, like this one right here, this is a Nico hellgrammite, but light colored lures work most of the time a lot better than darker color lures when it comes to clear water creeks or rivers. But the truth of the matter is, folks, when I was a kid, I caught and used live hellgrammites because we didn't have Nico hellgrammites back in them days. Nor did we have the money to buy a lot of artificial baits. We caught live bait, such as live bait, live crawfish. live hellgrammites. We would use the minnows that were in a creek. We would seine them and use them. So I grew up fishing like that when I was real little, up to around 13, 14 years old. And but most of the time, especially these creeks here in North Alabama, the color of these hellgrammites are dark, anywhere from these 3 colors that I'm going to share with y'all, and which is obsidian, which is a solid centered black. This is a natural color right here. The head's a light tan and kind of like a brown for the rest of the body. Now this particular one looks just about perfect with the color of hellgrammites that surround here most of our creeks, to this mudbug color right here, which is a dark brown. But now these colors right here I've been fishing with a lot here lately. Those 3 right there are really catching the fish. Any creek that I've been into, and I've been really fishing creeks hard here lately, as y'all noticed, those colors will work. But this one stands out more than any of them. They hit this color right here, or they have been, quicker than any color I've shown y'all. Any color. And the color is brown gold fleck. That one right there. For some reason, I've noticed they'll kill that color. But now, I get a lot of questions about creek fishing and what do I feel like is a perfect setup for creek fishing. Well, let's start off with this. The fact is, folks, I love to fish with an open jig head. In other words, an open hook, using these hellgrammites. That is my favorite way. But if I have to Texas rig them, I will. But this is my favorite way. That right there, that's a 1/20th of an ounce Z-Man head. Now I use a 1/20th and a 1/15th the most, because these creeks right here are ranging from knee deep to about waist deep. Now remember, a hellgrammite is a slow moving critter. So in that depth of water, I feel like the fall rate after you make your initial cast, and I always let the bait fall straight down on a slack line, in other words, is perfect in that depth of water around here. But anyway, 6-pound test fluorocarbon is a little bit light for around here in my neck of the woods, because a lot of these creeks have some good creek bass in them, big ones. A lot of them don't. I'm going to say about 1 out of 3 or maybe 1 out of 4 does, and the rest of them has really, really small fish. But every once in a while I'll find a creek that has some big bass in them. So I believe 8-pound test fluorocarbon is made to order for me. Now I'm just talking about me as far as being a perfect size line. Now any bait, whether it be a hellgrammite, crawfish, or whatever, when I'm fishing on a jig head, if I can, my favorite knot is going to be a loop knot. The reason why is because there's more freedom in the lure. It makes it look a lot more natural, I think, in the water, opposed to tying directly to the hook tag or the eyelet. Okay. Now, as far as an open hook, folks, the best hook set is going to be let the fish load up on your rod and reel. or just a small hook set. Because if you try to rip his jaw out with that small sharp hook, especially a Z-Man hook, they're small in diameter, they're sharp, they will cut a gash into that fish's mouth if you set the hook hard. When he comes up, he'll jump and you'll lose that fish. So the best way, I mean, the hook point is open. It's open. Just reel. When the fish feels the pressure of that point, he's going to go the other way and he's going to set the hook for you. That will save you more fish. Another thing that'll save you a lot of fish is by using a limber rod. Now this is a perfect little creek rod. This is a Duckett crappie slayer, 6.5 foot long, light action. So it's got plenty of length. 6.5 feet to 6'8" is a perfect length as far as I'm concerned. Now I'm just talking about me, my opinion. And that limber tip will save you a lot of fish. It's hard for a big fish or a little fish to come off of that small hook. But if you have a stiff rod, when he makes a run, if that drag's not set just right, he'll rip a gash in his mouth, and you'll lose that fish as soon as he comes up and jumps or changes directions. It's really not complicated, but I will land most of the fish that I hook just for the simple fact of that limber tip when fishing this way. Another thing is, I like to use either 8 or 10 pound test braid. Those two are pretty equal. If I can, I'll use 8 pound test braid more than the 10, but either way I'm satisfied with either one. But 8 pound braid will give you a long cast. Remember, we're fishing in clear water. A long cast is very, very important, folks. Very important oftentimes, because those fish can see you as well as you can see them. As far as reels, whatever, a 2,000 size reel or a 2,500 size reel is my favorite, because I like a little bigger spool right there. And a 2,000 size reel and a 2,500 size reel has the right size spool for that line to come off of it in such a way that you can get a longer cast. That's what I'm getting at. And of course, I'm a big fan of Daiwa reels. About everything I have is Daiwa reels. In this case, this is a 2,000 size Johnny Morris spinning reel. 2,000 size, and it's a Daiwa reel. But that's my setup right there, and those are the colors that I'm catching a lot of fish on. But boy, ain't that pretty, folks. Is that not pretty? There he is, there he is, there he is. Let me loosen my drag off, hold my rod up. There's a ledge right there. That's a good fish right here, folks. That's a good one right here. Let's get him over the ledge. It's a real good one. Wow, you talking about fighting. You talking about fighting now. There's not a largemouth on the planet that can fight as hard as these fish right here. Let's get him over here. I'm telling you, this is a lot of fun right here. I'm not getting many bites. I'm having to work for them in this creek. Look at there. Is that not a beautiful fish? Oh my, 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 my. Oh. Now that I believe that fish has got a lot more smallmouth in him than spotted bass, but it's not quite a smallmouth. But look at that. Look how bright. Oh my, I'm excited. Folks, look at there, what a fish. That is simply beautiful. I'm having a hard time setting up in a great place to, but look at that. Beautiful, beautiful fish. That was a hard, bait just fell out. What about that? Doggone it. Let's let him go. I mean, I don't know why I'm so hyped up, but after I quit smoking, you talking about somebody who has the energy. I got the energy. Thank God I had enough strength and prayed hard enough to quit smoking. That stuff was killing me, folks. Y'all need to quit too. Fine, do it, y'all can. Alright, folks, I changed to the C08 Galaxy 548. That's probably the number of the color. I'm not for sure. Or maybe C08 Galaxy is, I don't know. But it's quite a bit darker color. Has some fleck in it, so when it gets overcast, it can glitter or glisten a little bit and maybe attract a few more bites. I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try a different color. I have, like I said, several colors with me. And I'm a color changer. I believe in that. I even have some mud bugs with me, which I heard was a fantastic color. But let's look at this bait here in the water. See what we can do right here about it. See that material that Nico products are made out of is just like Elastec. Very floatable. I mean, it floats up high, a lot more than plastic, and it stands straight up. So I tell you, in creeks, it does a wonderful job. Catch a lot of fish, and I got about a 16-foot leader on here, tied with my favorite connection is a double uni knot. Which I've said that many a times. That's just my opinion. I've never had any trouble with that knot. Not at all. Not at all. Y'all get it? Woo! I'm going to walk up through your underway and see if we can find something else. Golly! Y'all see that? Oh, there's a big bass. I want y'all to look at that. Oh, my. What it was, I hooked a little bitty bass. And a bigger bass was after the little. Let's fish around in here. I hope I can hook that old big bass. That was a big one, folks. The little one come off. Did y'all see that? But that bigger bass was really, oh my goodness. Oh, I wished I'd like to know where he went to. I'd like to get a hook into that big one. I would. There's a fish. Oh my. It's a good one. It's a good one, folks. It's a good one. It ain't that big one. This is a good fish right here, but it's not the one that tried to eat that little bass. I don't see any behind him, but this is a good bass right here. The one that tried to eat that little bass, and that little bass was probably about 7 or 8 inches long, was bigger than this one. But it don't matter. Yeah, see him. He's right behind him. See him? Look at that old big bass. Right there. Y'all see him? I'm going to do my best to catch him. I'm going to... God, that's tearing me up. He's probably... That fish, I see him right there. He's right there. Just sitting there. This is a good bass right here, but that other one is probably a good pound. See him right there? Or half a pound. He's a half a pound bigger. Okay. Okay, if he'll just stick around, I might catch him. Woo-wee. My goodness, what a fish. Now I've changed my mind about this creek. This is a thoroughbred spotted bass right here. This ain't a meanmouth. This is a spotted bass. But I want y'all to look what a spotted bass. That is a big one right there from a creek. And I'm excited. I got to go back and at least try to catch that bigger fish. That other one may be a half a pound bigger than this one, which is huge in a creek. My God, I tell you what, I love this stuff, folks. Fishing is a sport. Well, it's second to none. Let's let it go. There he goes. There he goes. Going under that tree. Y'all see? We might be able to. There he goes. Do you work here?
Well, yeah, I have now for a long time.
Where's your plumbing stuff at?
It's back there in the plumbing section.
Well, won't you get up and show me where it is?
Well, it'll be on about the aisle 9. You can go back there and look for it yourself.
You ain't gonna help me.
Well, I ain't no help for you.
I'm going to the house. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good for you.